Parents who took their children to college in a truck filled with moving boxes had to bring them home in hearses lined with coffins.
An emotional day for the families of the 4 Idaho college students who were killed as they faced the murder in court. Bryan Kohberger sat in silence as he heard the families talk about the pain and suffering he caused them.
Yeah, Colleen and David, good afternoon. Bryan Kohberger was sentenced to serve 4 life sentences without parole for those 4 stabbing deaths. Today at court, for the very first time, we heard from one of the surviving roommates who was there the night of the murders.
People call me strong. They say I'm a survivor, but they don't see what my new reality looks like. They don't see the panic attacks, the hypervigilance, the exhaustion, the way I scan every room I enter, the way I flinch at sudden sounds. They don't know how heavy it is to carry so much pain and still be expected to keep going, and that's because of him.
On July 2nd, 2025, Bryan Kohberger finally spoke the words that shocked everyone in the Idaho courtroom. After 2.5 years of silence, he admitted what we all suspected about those 4 innocent students. His voice was calm, but the room was heavy because justice had finally spoken back. This wasn't just a case, it was a national obsession. 4 young lives taken in the middle of the night, no witnesses, no clear motive, and a suspect who said nothing until now. What changed? Why now? And what exactly did he confess to? Stay with me as we walk through the moment the silence shattered, the evidence that cornered him, and the pain that never left those families. The case against Bryan Kohberger was built brick by brick. The prosecution's foundation rested on a chilling trail of digital breadcrumbs and physical proof no defense could ignore. First, DNA. The knife sheath left behind on Madison Mogen's bed carried his genetic fingerprint, a perfect match from the familial genealogy trace they ran months after the killings. Second, cell phone data. Kohberger's phone pinned in the King Road neighborhood 13 times in the weeks leading up to the murders. He was casing the house. And the most damning, surveillance footage from the early hours of November 13th, 2022. A white Hyundai Elantra, just like the one Kohberger drove, was seen circling the victim's home multiple times before parking and disappearing during the window of the time. Combine that with the discovery of Kohberger's driving patterns, internet searches, and a chilling Reddit post seeking insight from criminals about their thought processes. Investigators had a profile of someone fascinated with murder and confident in getting away with it. But this case was never just about a suspect. It was about 4 victims who should still be here. Ethan Chapin, just 20 years old, the triplet brother who loved sports and laughter. Zaina Kernodle, his girlfriend, vibrant and fiercely loyal. Kaylee Goncalves, ambitious, funny, and weeks away from moving to Texas. Madison Mogen, her best friend and sorority sister since childhood, always by her side. 967 days passed between their deaths and Bryan Kohberger's confession. Their parents, their siblings, their friends, they waited through delays, silence, speculations, and pain. July 2nd wasn't just a legal moment, it was personal, it was heartbreaking, and for some, it was long overdue breath. So why did he finally confess? According to courtroom observers, Kohberger's demeanor changed drastically in recent months. Gone was the smug silence. In its place, a calculated, almost rehearsed admission. Legal analysts believe his defense team finally accepted what forensic experts warned them. There was no way around the evidence. Criminal psychology experts have a theory. Kohberger, a PhD student in criminology, understood the state's strategy. He's studied it, and ironically, that knowledge backfired. He knew that delaying or dragging out the trial would only spotlight the evidence more. So instead, he opted to confess, reportedly in exchange for taking the death penalty off the table. But even in his confession, there was no apology, no emotion, just confirmation of what investigators already pieced together. He had entered the house with the intent to kill. He targeted, he stalked, and he acted. What most people don't know is that law enforcement suspected Kohberger early on, but it took months to build the case. FBI surveillance teams tracked his cross-county trip to Pennsylvania. They sifted through garbage at his family home to confirm his DNA. And even when they arrested him, they kept many details sealed under a gag order to preserve the investigation's integrity. There were frustrations from the public. Why is this taking so long? The detectives knew a rushed case could fall apart. A methodical one would hold in court. And now it has. Now, with Kohberger's confession on record, all eyes are on the upcoming hearing, scheduled for July 23rd.
I will call you what you are: sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You worked so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you It's how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Legal experts are speculating. Will this be the moment we finally learn his motive? Why these 4 students? Why that house? So far, Kohberger has offered no explanation, but with the gag order officially lifted, the courtroom could hear more than just legal arguments. It could hear truth. Victim impact statements are now allowed. Families who have stayed silent under the court's restrictions can finally speak. Their voices, suppressed for over 2 years, may finally reach the man responsible. This hearing won't just be about sentencing. It will be about closure, or at least as close as these families can ever get. The silence is over. The confession is real, but the story isn't done. What pushed Bryan Kohberger to confess now? Was it fear of the death penalty? Was it strategy? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We'll be following every word, every statement, every moment that matters. Until then, stay safe, stay curious, and as always, stay seeking justice.